All right. I've been excited for this stream for like 2 months, but I haven't been able to actually do the stream for a while, because of other streams I had to do. Time that I couldn't stream. I had surgery, which also pushed it back a little bit, but I'm finally able to do it, and I'm excited to get into it. Hello, Anthony. Hello, Orium. Yeah, I saw your message right as I hit the start streaming button of the mustard ad. I wasn't able to actually read what you said. um, Hello, Lily. Hello, Eth. What is the mustard ad? Can you elaborate, please? Hello, Lilith. Welcome. Yeah, the first Ruby day in a couple weeks. Yeah, surgery. Turns out it's really difficult to stream right after you have surgery. Probably a good idea to get that shield, but I'm not a coward. Hello, Executioner Smo. Welcome. I do remember the mustard sponsorship, yeah. The mustard. 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 Was it that? For anyone who doesn't know of this, we had a YouTube channel called Double A Batteries. How long ago was that? We haven't uploaded anything to that for, I mean, at least 5 years, right? Because we didn't do anything after high school, I don't think. We tried, but we never ended up doing anything. I don't know. It's been a while, is the point. And we did a bit where we were saying that it was sponsored by mustard. And we did a little mustard ad in the middle of one of the videos. Yeah, many, many moons. Plutonium is tasty. Thank you so much, Executioner Smo. That means a lot. I have no idea how much money that is, but any amount of money I appreciate more than I could express, I think. I don't think you should be eating plutonium. That at least sounds bad for your teeth. I've never seen the fan rankings thing before. I assume that's brand new. There's a whole, like, there's a thing I can press to see, like, a, what do you call it? With, like, the 3, 2, 1. I don't know. The Olympic, like, ranking pedestal thingy. Bastard Sword moveset is so boring? I mean, it's a shorter claymore with higher damage, right? It's still a great sword. I like great swords. Thank you so much, Ariam. That means a lot, too. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, don't apologize for giving me money. Again, any amount of money means a lot to me. Oh, actually, before I go down, I'm gonna pull the lever. I'm gonna go straight to the depths and get the large ember. Less than $1? I mean, again, any money means a lot. So. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I really like simple movesets in Dark Souls. Like the broadsword is one of my favorite weapons, just because it's a really simple, nice, clean moveset, with a lot of variability and a lot of very useful movements, right? Doesn't have the funny thrust attack. I never use the thrust attack anyway, it's fine. The jump attack kind of supersedes it in a lot of ways. Hi, Krista, welcome. No one said you had to chew the plutonium? I don't know, swallowing it whole probably isn't good for your digestive tract either. Either way you eat plutonium doesn't sound great for you. Hello, Milo, welcome. With the Leo ring? Yeah, but like then you have to fight Super Smo or Super Ornstein, which like, who wants to fight Super Ornstein? I have no idea. I'm pretty sure they like just recently added that. But there's like, oh. I think it's per stream as well, not overall. Oops, that was, never mind. Perfect. Yeah, I heavily disagree. I think that Super Ornstein is a lot, not harder, but a lot funkier. A lot harder to fight, because a lot weirder to fight. just because he has some really funky hitboxes, especially compared to Smo. Like, Smo has the really big shockwave on the hammer slam, but it's not that bad. Krista, thank you so much. She's just doing it for the XP. Thank you so much, Krista. Yeah, I mean, most of Super Ornstein's hitboxes are funky, right? The swipe has a massive hitbox. Yeah, only doing it for the XP. Well, either way, I appreciate it immensely, as you usually know. Yeah, I mean, the swipe, like the swing, where he swings a spear, has a massive hitbox, especially around the base of the spear. The grab has a really funky hitbox. The dash is really weird. I mean, most of his attacks are just range, right? Oh. Thanks, fine. No other ulterior motives whatsoever. Broke till 8. Do a soul dupe run? Like to get to max level or whatever and just destroy things. I kind of did that with the highest DPS videos. Or video, I guess. The true highest DPS video. Hello, Sabrina. Welcome. I don't soul dupe I don't... Yeah, not every run. Just because it's most runs, it doesn't mean it's every run. I probably should have leveled up my... That's fine. Do I even have a bone? I don't think I do. Okay. Oh. I'm surprised I survived that, to be honest. You know what? That's an entirely valid reason to fight Super Ornstein. I wish the Dragon Slayer Spear was good. I really don't like the Dragon Slayer Spear. The damage is extremely underwhelming. Hello, Nevin. Welcome. I don't know why I am doing this. I'm gonna need to die to get out anyway, unless I want to fight the Githing Dragon, which I really don't. I don't ever soul dupe to level up. The only time that I soul dupe to level up is when I'm doing stupid DPS runs. I haven't gotten there yet. I literally just started the run. It's been less than 10 minutes. Okay? Less than 10 minutes, including the stream starting soon screen. Alright? I'm going there right now. I used Depth's Clip so I could get the large ember. Also, Krista, the Depth's Clip only took me 2 tries this time. I didn't fail it that much. Oh my goodness. Not even 10 minutes in, and the flirting has already started. It's rude. There's like a little timer thingy at the bottom of the video player. I was planning on getting the Bastard Sword before going to the depths, but I didn't really need to kill anything in the depths, so I just did that immediately so I wouldn't have to come all the way back down. I don't know, Smo is pretty cool. Smo gives me money, so like... Not biased at all, but Smo is pretty cool. You know, Lily, I'm gonna go ahead and say that you're also biased, just like Krista. Okay, Ornstein being trans is definitely a lot of points toward their coolness factor. Okay, how... Are we going, like, with any pronouns on Ornstein, or, like, he, him, trans femme, like, How we go? How we? What's the headcanon there? Him lesbian. Okay. Um. So is that like? Are we talking trans masc or trans femme? Trans canon. Like a circus act shooting trans people out of a cannon? You are absolutely not unbiased, Lilith. No chunk. Fortunate. I am gonna use Sen's gate skip to get large titanite shards because I want to plus 10 before I fight gargoyles because I think that'll be funny. I don't need to kill you. Not in this run. Not biased at all, no. I don't know, I feel like most characters being like headcanon as trans makes sense in some way, right? Like Andre. Time to actually buy the weapon. Oh, okay, it's 3,000 souls, of course. I don't think this is gonna be enough. Never mind. Exactly enough. Not a fatty, just your suit. Yeah, to be more intimidating. I didn't realize that the bastard sword was so expensive. It's okay, CC. I can't even use it yet. Yeah, the biggest negative of the bastard sword is definitely its range. Oh my god, Ornstein. We got a whole boss fight in the chat. Milo has been defeated. Yeah, I think the bastard sword looks really cool, but I don't know. I really like just like really simple weapons. I gotta make sure I'm at the right point. I think it's here. They just feel good to use a lot of the time. That wasn't low enough. Very unhealthy working relationship between these two. Yeah, true. All characters are trans and gay. 75% hotter and more cool. That's also true. I feel like weirdly the most popular like joke headcanon in Souls that I've heard of is Ornstein and Smough. I don't know how to say it safely on YouTube, but you get the idea, right? The girlies are fighting. This probably isn't safe, but I want it. Yeah. Golden apple into a room with Ornstein and Smough. Toxic yaoi. I don't know. Would it be? I feel like it would be toxic, actually. Yeah. Mo does look like a golden apple. Old man toxic yaoi. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. Good. Can say best friends on YouTube. I can. Yeah. I'm allowed to say that. You know, I feel like I should be saying things, but I'm observing the conversation between Ornstein and Smo in the chat, and I think this offers more entertainment value. I'm here as background at this point. Okay, but like that doesn't have to be toxic. You know, maybe Ornstein is just a masochist. Ornstein, you're here. Answer the question. Are you a masochist? Ooh. Your narration. You like a sports announcer voice. As if I don't giggle literally constantly during streams. With voices and stuff for the I can't voice act. I mean, I guess technically I do voice acting, but the toxic yaoi is captivating. Exactly, you get it. You understand. I think it's 4,000 a pop. I don't remember. Yeah, 4,000. Okay.
Go along, try and make
Buy one more. Go.
There you go, another break.
Still botnik levels of yaoi. I need to watch those movies again. I need to make that like an annual thing, I think. Satisfy my autism a little bit. Could be a banger YouTube series. A reality show featuring Ornstein and Smo and their toxic gay relationship. I haven't done the Dragon Slayer Spear yet. Though I did do a run with Aurora where I cosplayed Smo and she cosplayed Ornstein. Set up is ONS doing a podcast. Yeah, I really wish the Dragon Slayer Spear was actually good, but whoa. I don't know. I did a run with it a long time ago before I was actually like good at the game, and I didn't end up beating Calamite, so you know. I think I want to do it during a stream at some point. I was planning on making it into a video, but I don't know. Maybe I could compare the Ornstein and Smo builds. I heard me laughing once. I thought you were at a stream earlier than that. And again, I giggle in literally every single stream almost constantly. Yeah, that's true. At least you can see when you're using the Dragon Slayer Spear. That is a good point. Hello, Anna. Welcome. Various Dagoth YouTube videos. Yeah, I guess when you deal actual damage to enemies, the half of the screen isn't super necessary. I didn't rest in the depths or in the parish. I didn't rest in the parish. Why did I have such a problem saying that? Has a better moveset than the Claymore? I mean, it depends on who you ask. I think they both had their strengths and weaknesses. I think the range of the Claymore does a lot for it, but the Bastard Sword does do more damage. So, you know. Instant smoke comparing their weapons. I never understood the Ornstein's hammer bit that some people had going for a while, but I feel like there is some connection between Ornstein's hammer and Ornstein's smoke comparing their weapons. Okay. Fighting for my life to not giggle so I don't get flirted with. You know, Evan, in that context, then Smo has even more of an edge, right? Because Smo's hammer is more effective than Ornstein's spear. Oops. Alright. I need to level up. Look. I'm a happy girl, okay? Not giggling is difficult. I can't believe I didn't this year. Okay, I need 16. I don't remember how much dexterity I need. 10. Okay, cool. I can actually use the weapon now. Well, if I don't giggle, it lessens the amount of flirting. If it was for my life, I would definitely be dead by now, for sure. Alright, now we actually get to see the moveset. Wow, that is disappointing. In terms of damage, I feel like that attack probably should have killed one of the weaker enemies. I guess very, very little scaling and A+0 low damage makes sense. Yeah, caffeinated, very caffeinated. My caffeine intolerance disappeared over the last 2 weeks, so 160 milligrams actually did quite a bit to me. Oh. What's the easiest way to get souls? So I can buy a few Titanite shards. I don't want to just, like, kill a bunch of random enemies. That's boring. Soul items. Where are soul items? I don't know. I could kill the boar. What's always kind of a speedrun? Did I miss something? Oh, Avna. Your phone. No. Actually, I need to buy... I could kill the Titanite demon. And then go kill Havel and stuff. I guess that'll get me a decent chunk of souls. Cost 400 to upgrade? This is tragic. This will probably be an over 3 hour stream if I'm being honest. Oh my goodness. Especially with how this is starting. I don't know. We'll see how it goes once I get this thing created, but don't worry, you got a bit. That does damage there? Wow, that is technically damage. I could dupe, but then I would need a soul item. Okay, I want to get this thing to +2, and then I'll kill the Titanite demon, and then I'll go kill Havel. And everything will be fine. Maybe I should kill Havel first so I can get like a +4. Wow. These things are weak to slash too, aren't they? There is damage. Ornstein and Smo making out in the chat. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be streaming for 5 hours, but I don't know. We'll see. History, we'll call them best friends. Oh, I guess there's a soul item here I can do. That's fine. I am still gonna kill Havel, though. Feels normal, not slash. Okay. That's really weird. Doesn't the Claymore deal slash? Am I losing it? I feel like more weapons than I feel like I don't know. I kind of just assumed that most greatswords and straight swords did slash damage. Oh, yeah, regular. Oh, come on. As a two-handed grip. I have no idea about anything with anything medieval weapons. But that does look like a two-handed grip to me in this game, too. Most DS1 swords are normal. Huh. Ugh. That's an awesome ship name. Yeah, like a lot of great axes do normal damage as well. Which I feel like makes more sense than swords dealing normal damage. Because axes don't exactly slash, they tear. What is dreary? Also, this definitely does more damage than the bandit's axe, at least, so... Really? Come on. I swear to God. Draco X Harry? Interesting. Normal damage doesn't exist in Dark Souls 2. I actually didn't know that. That's good to know. Larry. There you go, finally. Not the longest Havel fight I've ever had. You know, I still haven't done... I still haven't played Arch Thrones. I should do that at some point. I don't know. I feel like I won't end up liking it because it takes a lot of the things I don't like about Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring and puts them in one thing. Just quit your workout? Like you finished it or like you just gave up? Oh, ouch. Your favorite sword? What makes it your favorite, out of curiosity? There you go. Don't completely whiff a jump attack and instantly die. Almost failed parrying the Black Knight. I would have quit and did the stream right now. Like the crossguard a lot? Yeah, that's fair. I think I like the claymores a little bit more because it has the ornate bits at the end of the crossguard, but I do like the simplicity of this one for sure. Yeah, I actually prefer the greatsword in Dark Souls 1 for the same reason. The thinner blade, I think, just looks better. I'm gonna go through the Taurus Demon and kill the greatsword Black Knight. Because I'm gonna need that chunk eventually, and might as well get it now, right? Plus that'll get me to the Undead Parish a little quicker, so I don't have to die. Hey, a chunk. That means I can get plus 15 before in Orlando as well. I don't know, the Claymore does technically do less damage, right? Longer range. Some people would say better moveset, but the Bastard Sword does have something up on it. Claymore propaganda. This is remastered, yeah. That's so little damage. Oh my god. I don't have any reason to play Prepare to Die. I will not fall for the Prepare to Die propaganda. I pressed the roll button, but it didn't queue because I didn't have enough stamina and I didn't notice. Got hit by the Taurus Demon. This is tragic. There we go. I mean, I have Prepare to Die. I have Remass Test installed on Prepare to Die. In fact, I just don't have any reason to play it. And I paid $60 for that pretty recently. Well, not recently. It was like 2020 something. Um, but I got it super cheap, which was really nice. Is the Claymore not a vertical R1? Like to pay attention to chat, reading up on the Ornstein and Smo drama. Oh right, yeah. The running attack is a sweep though, right? It has the same running attack as the Bastard Sword. So like, if nothing else, it does have something for that. I think I have enough souls to be able to get to +10 by now. And if not, I'll definitely have it after I beat this Black Knight. I could get a +15 before the gargoyles. That could be funny. I am shocked I successfully parried that. I did not trigger the dragon. No, I didn't go through the berg. I just went through Dark Root. Yeah, as long as you don't go through the first part of the berg, where the dragon drops down on you just before the bonfire, it won't attack you. Oh my goodness. I suck at this game. This night in particular, that was not me, no. Oh, hi there, I forgot about you. Calamite? Can you skip activating Calamite and he just won't appear in his arena? Like if you do the meme roll to skip triggering him? Okay, I want to pull this lever. I'm not really sure why, though. I'm not going to. Bet the Black Knight enjoyed getting riposted. Sure. First claim. It does more damage than the Claymore, and it has a different moveset. It can't just be worse Claymore. Look, I'm the kind of person who appreciates it in Okay, I can't even talk. Never mind. I don't appreciate anything. If I can't even use words to explain them. I enjoy using different weapons to experience different movesets and find their high points. Timu Claymore. I need to buy 6 of those. Okay, actual damage now. Yippee. There we go. Chinese bootleg Claymore. Have I done Partisan? Not yet, I don't think. I've done the... No, I have done Partisan. I haven't done Pike is the one that I was thinking. Oh god, I haven't used... I've used the Artoria swords a little bit for the run that I did with Aurora. I would switch between the... Wait, also, Bastard Sword turns into the cursed version. The Straight Sword hilt and Broken Straight Sword turn into the blessed version, right? But I've used the Artoria swords a tiny bit, where I had switched between them in that run I did with Aurora, but otherwise I haven't really used them. And I was thinking of doing the thing that I did with the blacksmith hammers with those swords, starting with the blessed Greatsword. Excuse me, move please. Oh my goodness. Because the blessed version is the worst one by far, just because it has the split damage and really weird scaling. Um, and then the cursed version just has better damage, it's pure physical. It has scaling on only the physical stats. And then the Abyss Greatsword is most likely better than the other two, mostly because of the stats. I don't know if the AR is better or not, or the requirements rather, but I'm gonna have the requirements either way, so I don't know if that is the best idea, but I guess I'll find out eventually. Oh my goodness, instability damage. That didn't stagger? I thought it was a 2-hit stagger. Are spears easier to parry in PvP? I suck at doing that in PvE. For whatever reason, the spear movesets are always so much harder for me to parry. I mean, it's only 1818. Or the blessed version is 2020, isn't it? Calamite mace? Yeah, I think I mentioned the Tonitrus build in that video, right, Aaron? Where we're using Sunlight Blade on the mace. I was planning on doing that when I did I want to do a series of streams that's just like all the starting gears, like only starting gear on all the characters. So like when I get to Cleric, I would probably do a Tonitrus build on that one. Ugh. Ow. Oh, I guess I can put on the ring and a little bit more armor for now. Three of them survived. I thought it was only two. That was scary. My whole life flashed before my eyes. Okay. Blood Bastard Sword? That's the second person to say that, I think. No trident, unfortunate. Belt made of watches? I have no idea. Oh my goodness. That sure is a pun. Okay. I think I'm gonna do New Londo now so that I can get this upgraded. But I probably won't actually upgrade it to plus 15 until after I open Sense Fortress again, because I don't want to do Sense Clip again, and I don't want to... I guess I can level up. I assume leveling Strength to 27 first is probably better, and then Dexterity to 20. Well, wasn't there a gimmick with one of the weapons that... Okay, well, whatever. That made it better to use it in your left hand, like the Artaria sword? Oops, wrong button. Extremely difficult fight. Yeah, Majestic Greatsword. Power Stance Claymores? Yeah, you can just buy them from the head of Encarl. Isn't that the only place you can get Claymores in Dark Souls 2? I actually don't remember. A weapon in Dark Souls 1 that's criminally underrated. Dragon form? Not technically a weapon, but, you know. The Gargoyle's Halberd. Not because it's actually underrated. I think people understand that it's good and like it. But it is, like, just better than the Black Knight Halberd. So I'm gonna say the Gargoyle's Halberd, just because it gets overshadowed by the Black Knight Halberd because of speedruns. Hello, Loot Crate. Welcome. The Blue Moon Greatsword? That's, Hugo's, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure certain soldier enemies dropped bastard swords in Dark Souls 2. Yeah, but PvP is not as cool as PvE, so it doesn't matter. A weapon being understood to be good in PvP isn't the same. Like, like the Keyblade, the key to the embedded in Dark Souls 2, PvP people know about it, right? And understand that it's a really good weapon. But in PvE, literally nobody had done a playthrough with the weapon like I had in my video. So I feel like people knowing that a weapon is good in PvP is just completely different from understanding that it's good in PvE. And again, the Gargoyle's Halberd is just better than the Black Knight Halberd in PvE. I used the Gargoyle's Tail Axe once in a stream, and I do not remember how good it was. Yeah, the rapier. I want to use the rapier soon, but I am worried that it's literally just gonna be a worse S stock, and the S stock itself already isn't super great without buffs. So, oop, that's not good. Oh, I have to run around again. Damn it. But yeah, the Rogier is also just better than the S stock. In terms of raw DPS, right? Yeah, the Black Knight axe. There's only one. Yeah, there's only one axe Black Knight in the catacombs, and like who's exploring the catacombs, and then who's gonna die to the Black Knight and be like, nope, I'm going back there, and then gonna get the 5% drop chance, and then decide to use that weapon. You know, when most people don't go to the catacombs until after they already have an established build, after they've gotten the Lord Vessel. So makes sense that it's extremely underused, but it is disappointing because it's a really cool weapon. I don't... Okay, Afna, what you're not understanding is PvP is extremely boring to me. Because you can't use cool attacks like that. So I do not care about the viability of a weapon in PvP as opposed to PvE. I just care that it's fun in PvE. Like, no one's ever going to use the Ghost Blade in PvP, but it's really fun in PvE. If you like long boss fights anyway. Objectively, the Rogier's... Or... Rogier's. Wait, why did I say Rogier's? Ricard's. Ricard's Rapier. Ricard's Rapier R2 is insanely good. Objectively true. One of the highest DPS weapons or attacks in the game. If not straight up the highest DPS, depending on how you count it. Silver Knight Straight Sword is insanely overrated. People only think it's good because it's easy to max out when you get it, because the Giant Blacksmith sells Twinkling Titanite. Like, it's good, but it's not like, I don't know, Broadsword is going to get you more damage than the Silver Knight Sword. Speaking of, the Broadsword is also insanely underrated. Like, I'm sure a lot of people have used it, but if you use it correctly, it's so much fun, and it gives you so much damage, too. You can 4-shot Ornstein in Phase 1 with it if you just use Power Within and have a plus 15. I don't know if you need to be 2740 to 4-shot. No, you definitely don't. Maybe 2720 could do it. 5 hits at most with Power Within. Even if you're not using Power Within, though, like, the Broadsword is just really, really, really good and insanely underrated compared to some other straight swords, like the Silver Knight Straight Sword, which just does less damage. Arguably, the Balder side sword is better, but I prefer the moveset of the broadsword. Plus the broadsword is just way easier to get. You know, I didn't have to farm Balder Knights for an hour to get the broadsword. Yeah, Ricard's R2 is insane. Reinforce Club? I haven't done a full Reinforce Club run. I do have that on my list of streams to do. Eventually I'll do a playthrough in a video or stream with every weapon in the game. Ugh. And Reinforce Club is obviously on that list. Oops. I'm surprised I'm not dead. Everything's fine. Just want to heal. Oh. Okay. I just need to parry. Everything's fine. Yeah, the mace is really fun. The mace also has better scaling than the Reinforced Club, right? Reinforced Club doesn't have good scaling, which is why it's good in the level 1, because most of its damage is biased toward base damage, as opposed to scaling. Oh. I hate massive souls. Oh, I'm dead. It's fine. I do want to do... Oh, I think... I don't know. I want to do a club run in Dark Souls 2, but I just used the blacksmith hammers, and I feel like it would be pretty similar, right? Because they're the same class, and I was power stancing them, so... The moveset would be effectively the same. At least the L1s. I don't know, I didn't love the Partisan. Like, the moveset is really good, but damage-wise, it feels extremely underwhelming. Elephant found Rickard's hammer. Let me know when you do, I'll let her on with it. Actually, it'd be really cool. It wouldn't be too hard to mod one in, right? To, like, create one. Especially if it just looked like the blacksmith hammer. Make it upgrade with Twinkling Titanite. Do magic damage or something. I could do that, but I don't know how I would... Because I wouldn't just want it to be like Andre's hammer, but enchanted. I'd want it to be like its own thing. I'd want it to have something unique if I did the mod personally. Great hammers are fist weapons. In Dark Souls 1, I think fist weapons are underrated. I don't need my souls, but I'm gonna get them anyway because I'm here. I think fist weapons are really underrated because they have really low damage on hit, right? But they have decent scaling, and if you use buffs, they also do really good damage. Yeah, I'm working on it. I need to, like, redo pretty much all the weapon scaling, because some things were way too strong, and I just haven't gotten the motivation to do that in a while. I don't know. I really want to get that done, because I really like all the changes that I made, but I need to finish the scaling, and it's just so tedious. So, I don't know. Yeah, I know it's fine, but I want to get it done because it's fun and cool. And I want people to play it. Remass test with Titanite Pebble also means you can fight Andre fist to fist. I need to finish my Titanite Pebble run. Uh-oh. Okay, that's fine. I didn't need the souls. Yeah. Placing a bunch of shards in the world is, like, easily the change that I wanted to make the most. And adding a lot more shard drops as well. I think enemies are a lot more likely to drop them. Just to encourage you to actually try a bunch of different weapons. Because by the time you get to the parish, you know, a +0 is just not worth it at all. It doesn't matter what weapon you're using. Using a +0 on anything it's just going to be a bad time. Um, so trying to try out a bunch of different weapons just ends up being a bad time. Um, so upgrade materials in general too, because you only get 7 static chunks in the entire game, which is enough to upgrade 1 weapon. And then there's what, 3 static slabs, one of which is tied to a quest line and the other is in the DLC. So placing more of those was also a pretty big priority. Yeah, it's literally just the scaling that I have left. I shouldn't have rested there. Whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'll do it eventually. Okay. Oh, I need souls. I forgot. I mean, by the time that you... by the time that you get all those upgrade materials, you don't really need them anymore though, right? Because you can buy infinite of them. I don't know. I feel like they're weirdly placed in Dark Souls 3, like skewed a little bit too late to be as useful as they could be. I'm gonna buy the weapons with box, so I don't have to come back to Andre later. Once I get the chunks. Yeah, like, I think by the time I beat Dark Souls 3, I usually end up having like 60 shards, which is cool, and I love that. It means you can try out weapons and, you know, whatever. But again, it feels like their placement is skewed slightly too late, which wouldn't really be an issue if the like knights or whatever were slightly more likely to drop shards. But farming for shards is just so egregiously tedious in Dark Souls 3 in the high wall. So like, it doesn't feel very viable most of the time unless you're specifically trying to beat the dancer early. You know, yeah, I know you can get +9 super easily. Like the knights in the castle, the Lothric knights in the castle are effectively guaranteed to drop a large shard at any, or yeah, each one is basically guaranteed to drop a large shard. But then you need 12 of them, and you need 12 of the small shards as well. And there's like, what, 5 or 6 in the high wall? It's really just the early game that suffers from not having enough shards, in my opinion. I miss my wife, Dales. I miss her a lot. I'll be back. I mean, yeah, it definitely encourages trying more weapons, because, like, by the time you find a cool weapon in the late game, you know, you pick up the lance, you're like, oh, cool. Lance. Then you have more than enough shards to, like, at least try it out. But it's just, I don't know. Well, yeah, but that's in Fair and Keep. That's farther than I would prefer, for sure. Wow, that is technically damage. Oh. Read it. Everything's fine. I wasn't worried, ever. I didn't buy into this trade demon. I have done NPC runs. I've done Solaire, I've done Lautrec, I've done... What else have I done? I don't know. I've done a decent chunk of them. Not like a ton, but... and I did do the random enemy from every area as well. So, I think cosplay runs are fun. Yeah, because DS1 has better progression than Dark Souls 3. It's a lot more fun to be able to upgrade your weapon at any point if you know what you're doing, right? And then not have to worry about it the rest of the game. Like, the fact that I can get a +15 before the first boss, or, well, before what is intended to be one of the earliest bosses in the game, is just fun and cool. And the fact that you can't do it in Dark Souls 3 is, in my opinion, a huge detriment to its progression. Makes it feel way more linear and a lot less fun. Yeah, and broken progression when you know what you are doing, which is exactly what Dark Souls 1 is a lot more fun than extremely linear, extremely boring one note progression with one deviation that you can make that trivializes half the game. Like, I feel like even Elden Ring does it pretty terribly, right? Because in Dark Souls 1, you have to know what you're doing to be able to get to plus 15 relatively early. Um, you have to go to a late game area, New Londo, to be able to get the very large number in the first place. You have to know where that's at. You have to know that you can kill Ingward for a key um, that you wouldn't get otherwise. You have to, like, there's so much knowledge that goes into being able to even get a plus 15 that early in Dark Souls 1. You have to know where you can get large shards, because there are, like, 2 or 3 static before Quelaag. And then the rest of them are Incense Fortress, but you can kill the leeches for them, which isn't an incredibly common drop. So especially if you're not like thoroughly exploring Blighttown, which most people probably aren't on their first playthrough at least. Like the swamp part, like who wants to explore the swamp part in their first playthrough? Like, but then in Dark Souls 3, it's like, oh, boss, okay, and then it's like a really hard boss, but so either you give up or you beat it, and then you get plus 10, and then the rest of the game is super easy. But like, I like DS3. I think DS3 is a great game. I think it's really fun. I think the progression works really well for a playthrough. However, I think that Dark Souls 1 is a lot more interesting and encourages a lot more replay value. I love Dark Souls 3. I think Dark Souls 3 is a wonderful game. I just like Dark Souls 1 a lot more. I'm sorry that you have to go be a human woman. Good luck with doing that. Like, Dark Souls 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. Thank you so much. Once again, I have no idea how much money that is, but 4,000 seems like a big number. I appreciate that very much. And thank you for the compliments as well. Dark Souls 1 does have Artorias armor. You have to beat Artorias and then go back to... I can't remember his name. Boss armor guy. In the depths, the Explorer armor. 4,000 cops. No. Yeah, Domhnall, that guy. Yeah, the Welsh guy. Yeah, I'm liking the Bastard Sword so far. The little bit of testing I did with it, well, testing is a strong word. The little bit of preliminary looking that I have done before this stream, I do at this moment prefer the Claymore, but I do like the slightly higher damage on the Bastard Sword. And the moveset on the Bastard Sword is also really nice. I mean, either way, I appreciate any money. I still barely feel like I deserve anything, so. I haven't done that many skips. I did depths clip and sends, and I mean, I guess technically skipping the depths in the lower berg, but I don't know. I feel like at this point, that route is semi-standard for a lot of people. Oh, greed. Oh. Dang it. I can't believe I died to Quelaag because I was being greedy. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Ariam. Okay, I'm not saying that I don't deserve any money. I'm saying that I don't feel like I deserve any money. I just play video games. And like, I don't know, giving me your time and attention feels like more than enough. I do very much appreciate everything. Yeah, like, the fact that you can skip half the bosses in Dark Souls 1 is awesome. um, Half the otherwise seemingly required bosses, too. And you don't even, like, need the Master Key to do any of this. You can, once you drain New Londo, you can get most bosses and just go straight down to Quelaag. No. I want the money. um, I will absolutely take the money. Dance monkey dance. Yeah, RT Game is a funny guy. Funny internet man. Oh my goodness. Okay, once again, no idea how much money that is, but the fact that it's red leads me to believe that that is a significant portion of money. Jesus, thank you so much. The child of the Claymore and the Greatsword? The fatherless sword. That is a lot of R's. How much? I'm scared. 1,000 arses. Thank you so much. Jesus. 100 plus. Oh my god. I... Every time I get a donation, it doesn't matter how much it is, I feel like I always underreact. Because, like, again, I don't feel like I deserve nearly as much money as people give me, but... Jeez. Oh, it's barely $1? Did I get it backwards then? I thought blue was the lowest one. Or does it, like, vary depending on the currency? Either way, I appreciate any money. And I still feel like I'm underreacting. Broadsword is Bastard Sword's little brother, and Longsword is Claymore's little brother. Yeah, that feels... Well, I don't know, actually. Because, like, the Longsword does have longer reach, and the Broadsword does more damage, but the Broadsword also just has a more useful moveset, and a lot of people would argue that the Claymore has a more useful moveset. Yeah, I thought that the Super Chats were also... Krista! See, this is what I'm talking about. I feel like I'm underreacting because that's such a stupid amount of money to give me. Oh my goodness. Krista's playing a pay-to-win game. That's... Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I wish I could do more to express my gratitude, but I really genuinely do not know how to say what I think that kind of money deserves. Yeah, I mean, the comparison makes sense. I just think that the fact that the broadsword has a very useful moveset as opposed to what most people consider the bastard sword, like having a less useful moveset than the claymore, you know? Like, I feel like there's some variation there. Alright, Krista. I will do my absolute best to next month. I still don't feel like anything I could do would ever come close to being the thanks that that deserves. But... Thank you, everyone, so much. Yeah, I mean, like, again, the movesets are similar, but the vibe is different. I feel like most weapons in Dark Souls 2 are really fun as a spell sword build. So, I don't know. I feel like there are exceptions. Are there any non-buffable weapons in Dark Souls 2? I assume there are. But I can't think of any off the top of my head, because most weapons definitely are. I assume some boss weapons aren't, at least. Like, I know a lot of weapons are uninfeasible. I don't know, I wouldn't say the damage loss between the longsword and the broadsword is minimal. At least especially early game. I don't know. Yeah, some boss weapons. I really want to do a video series on Bloodborne like I did with Dark Souls 3. And I'm definitely planning on doing it at some point. Um, but there are a couple things holding me back from that. First of all, capturing on my PlayStation 5 is a little difficult. Um, there are ways I could get around that. I do have an Elgato, so I can record it directly to my computer. I could also just use like the PS5 recording thing and record audio separately and edit it from there. But the main reason that I haven't is because the PlayStation controller really triggers my RSI. So if I could get some way to use my Xbox controller on the PlayStation, or even just emulate it, I could absolutely do that. But there's also the issue of just like not really having the time to record, 2-3 hours at a time like I would prefer to do something like that. But that is something that I will definitely do eventually. And I definitely want to do multiple Bloodborne videos. The Flamberge can't be infused in Dark Souls 2? I mean, probably because it has bleed damage, right? But that's really weird. Yeah, I almost always do spell swords. Like, the only time that I don't is when I'm doing a stream, because getting the spell part of spell swords takes a while. I don't know why I'm using R2s. Bloodborne remastered? I don't know, we might be waiting a few years for that. There are bleed weapons? Yeah, that's true. There are bleed weapons that can be infused. Maybe because, like, the Flamberge's thing is bleed? Maybe it's just because, like, how the developers envisioned its usage. Wait, it can be infused but not buffed? That's even weirder. Aren't there even fewer weapons like that? That's baffling. Okay, vitality. I'm gonna get that up to, like, 20. Might as well put paper in production on, at least for now. I'm just from the west coast of America. I don't think I have a particularly strong accent compared to, like, most of America, though. I always thought my accent was pretty standard American. I guess that is biased, though, from living in the Pacific Northwest my whole life. Yeah, but, like, even Britain has a lot more variation in accents than the majority of the US, right? I'm not saying I don't have an accent. I'm saying that my accent doesn't stray very much from most of America because most American accents are pretty similar, right? Oh, right, I need to kill the... Wait, Portal 3 used to be? Is there something about Portal 3 that I don't know? Sam, you definitely have an accent. I've heard you talk. It's not strong, but you definitely have, like, an accent. Isn't Portal 3 awful? Wait, is Portal 3, like, a thing? I'm confused. It's being talked about like it's a game that just exists. You're not really British. I've been lied to. This is tragic. Yeah, Lamb, but it still pokes through every now and then. Oh, Portal 3 is there, Silksong isn't. Okay. Postal? Okay, that's a very different game. I mean, there are there's a lot more than 3 Half-Life games, to be fair. You could argue that Half-Life Alyx is a spiritual Portal 3. There's also like Blue Shift and uh or is it Green? I don't remember. There are other Half-Life games. There's also like Aperture Tag, which isn't official, but you know, same idea there. Being gaslit about Portal 3. Silksong is a Mandela effect. Like, oh, wasn't Silksong supposed to come out at this time? And then you like look it up and it's like there's no news on it whatsoever. Like, oh, I guess not. You've actually been constantly teleported into alternate universes where Silksong gets slightly more delayed. You know, I feel like I feel like I have a very strange opinion on Portal in that I think Portal 2 is just worse than Portal 1 in almost every way. Like some of the puzzles are better than most of the puzzles in Portal. But like there's so much focus on the story, which isn't a bad thing, don't get me wrong. And I like that how most of the story is presented. I love that Cave Johnson just kind of like talks in the background while you're solving puzzles. I love that you can solve puzzles while you're being exposited to most of the time. But then like the entire intro is just a slog to get through. There are a bunch of like cutscenes and areas that are literally just a hallway where you're being exposited to, and that stuff is really annoying. I think the movement in Portal 2 feels a lot worse than the movement in Portal 1. It's just like nearly everything in Portal 2 is just worse than Portal 1. That's not an unusual opinion at all. Pretty lukewarm. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like horribly uncommon, but oh my god, Devin. Thank you for even more money. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And Franco, thank you so much for becoming a member. I'm hoping, actually, I don't know. I was gonna try to have a video uploaded for members tonight, but I don't think I'll be able to get that done yet. Hopefully it'll be up tomorrow and you'll get a couple days early access to it before I upload it on Saturday. Oh my goodness. This guy died. I'm going down to here because I'm hoping that I'll have enough endurance to actually be able to wear the bracelet. Portal 2 multiplayer is incredible, actually. I completely forgot about that. I will say that with the multiplayer, Portal 2 becomes better than Portal 1. But as a single-player game, Portal 1 is better. I think Aperture Tag is also a lot better than Portal 2. Aperture Tag is really, really fun. It has really good puzzles. Yeah, a lot of the internet does very much glaze Portal 2. $500 asses. It's okay. There is no expectation to give me money. Don't worry. Oh, never mind. I'm baffled when anyone gives me any money, so don't feel bad about not giving me money. How many hours do I have in Dark Souls 1? I have about 900 on Remastered on Steam. I have another 25 on Prepare to Die. I have another 60 or 70 on Remastered. I have another 70, 80-ish on Switch. I have probably a few on PlayStation. So well over 1,000, probably close to 1,200-ish. Hey, Stagger. As the space personality core, who is literally you. Yeah, that's fair, actually. There's a video, one of the best videos, I think, that exists on the AA Batteries channel, which, if you weren't here earlier, was a channel that I did with Anthony, for a while, back like um like 5 years ago. I think we started it in 2016, 2017, maybe 2018, and went until around 2020, 2021. Um, but we did a couple Portal 2 videos, and the second one was so much fun to record. And I remember it being really funny. It's been a while, but I do remember it being funny. Kills trans person on stream. Your girlfriend. Hmm. I feel like there's a lot of gender stuff going on there that getting into on stream would be difficult with. Wow, I can actually fast roll with this. Have a good night, Krista. Thank you for being here while you could. I hope you sleep well. Use them to buy Belatro. That's entirely valid, honestly. I think Belatro is more worth your money. Oh, right. I forgot. I don't know why I decided to grab this. I don't usually grab this armor set in streams. Honestly, the silhouette that this set gives you, like, I love the colors and how the sets play with each other, but the silhouette that this specific combination gives you is so good. Have a good night, Afna. Or day, whatever your time zone is. Thank you for being here. Good night, Krista. I guess it is kind of Fallen Night vibes, yeah. And as a bonus, the pants are not pissed. Regardless of that, I do think the Fallen Night set is one of my favorite sets in Dark Souls 3. My actual favorite would probably be the... I forgot what it's called. Ouch. Hold on, it's in my brain somewhere. Who's the one that invades you in front of the dungeon, and then their set is like in the dungeon, near where you find the witch in Dark Souls 3? Those pants, and then the fire witch, or so. And then also probably the gloves from the other set. Yeah, Alva set, that one. Alva. Alva? Alva. The Alva set. The Alva pants and the gauntlets. And then the Fire Witch. Chestplate. I haven't found a good helmet. I think the Fire Witch helmet is like the best one to go with that. But a Peter Griffin character? I like a couple of witches, I think. Oh, right. I need to get the other... I forgot to get the one from the giant... Oh, I can just go to get the one in front of the giant blacksmith. Oh, I was gonna say something about next stream, but then I realized that I don't actually have a plan for next stream yet. If you want to contribute to the choice for what the next stream is, I posted a poll on the community tab on my channel today. That has a few weapons for your consideration for me to do next stream. So the order of whatever has the highest votes to the lowest votes will be streamed next week, hopefully. Right now, I think the Manserpent Greatsword is winning, which is really funny, because I fully expected Giant Dad to win that poll. But or at least last time I checked before the stream, the Manserpent Greatsword was winning. Probably because nobody's used it, because it's so rare. Crystal weapons aren't, like, bad. They're not good. But not bad. All lesbians have the innate potential to become witches. That's true. That means I like... Hold on, I'm considering the sexualities of my partners. Because I know not all of them are lesbian. Four? Four witches? Potential witches? Bayonetta? Pardon me? uh, only one of them is actually a witch. Is it 2-hit? It's not a 2-hit stagger on a greatsword, really? That's kind of crazy. 6 hits, though, on Ornstein is not bad. No, don't! That is unfortunate. You can be a pan-lesbian, this is true. I would consider myself an omnisexual lesbian. Can you stop? Jesus. Oh my god. Whatever. Bitty. As opposed to fatty. I don't think I've ever heard that word in my life. Rest in peace, Ornstein. Look. Mo's weaker, okay? It's a compliment. Well, I don't know. I saw a lot of, like, really attractive mask-presenting people at Pride, okay? At this point, I don't think I can consider myself not omnisexual. Oops. Yeah, a lot of people stop playing after in Orlando. I'm like, I get it, because, like, at that point, your build is almost done, or almost definitely complete, if not almost complete. And then it's just kind of going through the levels to beat the bosses. Oh my god, are you sure? I can't... It's been... I haven't watched Invincible in a while. Anyway. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, but I don't know, I think using your build to obliterate the later game bosses, especially the DLC, is really fun. If you're having trouble, like, getting yourself to play the second half of Dark Souls, I would heavily recommend going straight to the DLC. So you fight the Hydra, fight the Golden Golem, and then, you know, because I think the DLC bosses are more replayable than a lot of the Lord bosses, especially if you're not used to doing the DLC bosses. Omnimansexual is liking all genders, but having a preference. So personally, I have a preference for women generally, but I have been attracted to not women. Nevin, thank you so much. Thank you for all the arses. I appreciate that. Again, any money is appreciated. And I never feel like I react appropriately, but I do very much appreciate everything. British butts. Yeah, and like, I don't know, I've also been in the situation multiple times where I'll be in a relationship and then that person will transition to a different gender, like go from trans femme to demi boy, or I don't know, there have been a couple situations like that, or non-binary, or just like, yeah, more mask than not. It's like I don't stop having feelings for them. So if anything, thank you so much, Nevin, but definitely do keep enough money for yourself. I really appreciate that. I'm not going to the DLC yet, but I am fighting Hydra. All your Google survey money today. I forgot about Google surveys. I did a few of those, but then I just like didn't get any surveys for a long time. I just kind of forgot. Oh, have you not done the DLC yet? Whoa, really? One shot on the running attack? That was terrifying. My whole life flashed before my eyes. Long lost coworker. Oh, right, because it gives you surveys based on, like, where you've been, right? I don't travel. I mean, I don't know. I'll take a train ride to the same city um, once a month-ish. Once a month, every month or two. So that's technically traveling. The DLC, Ornstein goes into labor. I think you might be the first person to ever say that sentence. Well, have a good night, Ornstein. Thank you for being here while you could. Alright, I will pass on the message. If I remember. But I do have ADHD. Guinness World Records. Yeah, I have a world record for being the first person to say the most unhinged sentence in the chat this stream. When I didn't get any surveys, I was also living in an extremely rural area, so like even going to school, I just wasn't getting anything because there was nothing around where I was. Oop. You may have ADHD. I mean, being in this chat, that would not surprise me in the least. I just kind of assume the vast majority of my viewers have both ADHD and autism. Because, like, why else would you be watching an autistic trans girl play Dark Souls once a week? Thank you so much. 250 grams of everyone's favorite chocolate brand in New Zealand. I've never been to New Zealand, nor do I talk to anyone in New Zealand. So I have no idea what chocolate brand that is, but I appreciate that very much. Sleep well, Krista, again. ADHD, I hardly know. Yeah. Me too. Yeah, I never got diagnosed because uh not there aren't very many good people who are there aren't very many people who are good at diagnosing autism, other than other autistic people. So low tier, you mean you're high masking? I assume? Anthony, thank you so much. Nevin, welcome to the channel. Congratulations. It means a lot. Thank you, Anthony. I really appreciate that. I'm kind of regretting not grabbing Power Within, but that's fine. I don't know. I feel like most weapons with Power Within become way better than they need to be. I recently did a playthrough with the Gravelord sword again, because I did a stream with that a while ago, but it's been a long time since I used it. So I decided to do a more casual playthrough with it, and it's so much worse than I remember. I think... I don't remember if I got to the DLC with it, actually. I beat Nito. I don't know. It wasn't super great. Yeah, there are, yeah, most people are not, most professionals, quote unquote, are not good at diagnosing with autism, because it's like they go through a checklist, and if any of the points fail, it's like, okay, well, I mean, you don't have this symptom of autism, so you can't have autism. And like, Lily, from your interactions with me and Luna, I would be shocked if you didn't. Yeah, the all caps YouTube title with the like, oh my god face in the thumbnail with like the hands on their cheeks. Anthony gifted me a membership to the YouTube channel Solar Pellets. Video titles like that have always felt patronizing to me. I assume I'm not the only one in that. Yeah, 100% autistic. You love being super descriptive for no reason. Yeah, it's funny. It's a good way to do humor. Um, Speaking of humor, when your YouTube channel gets mentioned, you can see that in YouTube Studio. It doesn't give you a notification, but there's a little tab that you can like check what people have mentioned you in their own videos, in like descriptions or comments or whatever. And I decided to check that the other day, and someone, I don't remember their name. Oh, I feel bad now. Um, Hold on, it's in there somewhere, I'm sure. I think their YouTube channel is Many Deaths. Hold on, I have my phone right next to me. I can check while I'm going down the elevator. Anyway, they mentioned me because they mentioned the Unremarkable and Odd Places video, and they put my channel in the description. And I decided to watch their video because it was like just a Dark Souls playthrough by someone who hasn't played the game as much as I have. I don't think I can check that on my phone actually. Anyway, there was a joke they made within the first like 3 minutes of the video. I posted it to my Discord. I don't know how many people saw it, but I was laughing at that for like 5 minutes. Their style of humor is very good. Yeah, Anthony, I honestly I was surprised that you don't have autism, but you almost definitely have ADHD. That would 100% explain everything. I mean, not everything, but that would 100% explain the lack of autism, because they do have a lot of overlapping symptoms. Yeah, they were good videos. I agree. They were fun to watch. Oh yeah, the spoon run guy. I watched the spoon run video. I didn't watch any others. I think I subscribed to the video, but I forgot to put on the ring. I didn't watch any other videos, but I think I subscribed to them so I could see them later. I was taken by the abyss. I can't believe I ever got to put on the ring. ADHD? What? Since when? Actually, can I wear the whole thing? Probably not. This will probably put me in middle. Yeah. About... Okay. Yeah, there was someone who did a spoon run. But they didn't fight Calamite, so that is the joke premise that I'm gonna do my run on. Be like, oh, they did this run, but they didn't actually do all the bosses. Is a bit, you know? Anthony, are you okay? Did you have a stroke while riding that? Oh, I thought you could jump over that. And I appreciate it every time, Anthony. No, you can't you can't choose who your gift membership goes to. It's decided, I think, based on chat activity and then also a healthy scoop of random chance. Eagle shields? No. Oh my god, there are two Anthonys. Two big Tonys. This is this is a crazy event. Um anyway, no, not really. The Eagle Shield is fine, but not really worth going out of your way for, in my opinion. I think it's the lightest Great Shield, but it only has 95% physical damage resistance. So unless you like really need a Great Shield that's really light right now, you know, it's not super great. Your arrival. Yeah, getting a diagnosis, like, generally for the majority of people, I would not recommend getting an official diagnosis if you don't need, like, official medical help. Um, but, like, getting the official diagnosis is very much about um, getting the, like, that kind of help from doctors that you might not be able to get from community and whatever. Otherwise, community is going to give you way more help than official, you know, professional sources could do most of the time. And if it's to the point where they refuse to give you a diagnosis because you keep eye contact, then the support you're gonna get probably isn't great. That was greedy, but enemies to lovers. Yeah, I guess if you're doing New Game Plus, and you want a shield, the Eagle Shield is probably a good way to go, but I also never use shields, so... That's not true. I use shields occasionally. Not for blocking, but for parrying. Or for their buffs that they have, like Sanctus and Crass Crest. Oops. Immense skill issue. You... This is true. Anthony has drank liquid dish soap. He's also sprayed, what was it, Glade? In his mouth. That was an experience. One time. I think the video is still up on AA batteries. What was it? You scraped off a little bit of one of those, like, scented gel things, and you put it up your nose, and you proceeded to rocket it onto my ceiling, and it was up there until I moved out of that house. Anthony, I don't know if you recall that moment, but that is burned into my soul. Yeah, psychiatry, there is a field. I don't know. I think it's just like so underdeveloped as a field that it's not able to help people as much as, you know, would be preferable, obviously. To the point where, like, generally peer review for a lot of things is going to be better. Like, to a point, obviously. With a lot of things that I personally have experience with, like ADHD, PTSD a lot of the time as well, autism, obviously, where peer review is most prevalent. You distinctly remember that. I'm glad you remember that scenario. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I assume if that ceiling never got replaced, it's probably still embedded in the ceiling. Have a good night, Aaron. Thank you for being here while you can. Whoa. The last time I used a shield in as like part of a build, I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure it was in the Artorias and Kieran run that I did with Aurora. That was a while ago. Wait, R2, R1 is a combo? Also, thank Warhelm. Wow, okay. R2, R1 is a combo. I didn't know that. Yeah, I very, very rarely use shields. I don't know. When I used the Partisan, I think I wanted to do a Hoplite run, but I don't think I ended up doing that. I don't remember. Eventually, I'm sure I'll do another run with shields primarily. Oh, the Bone Wheel run, technically, had a shield. Bone Wheel shield. Anthony, another one? Thank you so much. Congratulations, Lily. Welcome to the channel. Going to Anthony. Can you not choose? Can you not like give memberships to specific people, or is it only the gift membership thing? Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Owie. Yeah. A lot of psychology is very like um very, very medicalized, and medicalized language around how people's brains work is not super amazing a lot of the time. You roll the roulette every time. Okay. Anthony, you are the gambling man. Yeah, blocking can be nice sometimes, I agree. A lot of the time I need to block though, I'll just like be two-handing a weapon. So it's whatever. But yeah, it is definitely nice to have a shield that can block a decent amount of damage every so often. Happy birthday, Carl Gustav Jung. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Smo, Ornstein said you were cool or something. I don't remember exactly what they said. But they had to go. I don't remember the exact words they used, but they wanted me to pass on that message vaguely. Oh my goodness, that's so much more damage than I was ready for. Wow. Anthony, another one. Thank you so much. The Swedish manga artist. I'm scared. I'm scared of all donations, but that's weirdly ominous. Again, thank you so much, Anthony. Ooh. At this point, Anthony's gonna start being pay to win. Never stop gambling. I do not condone gambling. I don't know, parrying is fun depending on the enemy. Like, I parry Black Knights 100% of the time, just because I don't think there's a super interesting enemy to fight without them. Yeah, Pasakas! It's Pasaka time! Oh, that's fucked up. Okay. I thought that the spray animation was the grab animation, but it wasn't. And I got damaged. There we go. Okay. The Pasaka event has ended, fortunately, but we love them. They will live forever in our hearts. The joys of gambling. Thoughts on the weapon so far? It's a great sword. I like great swords. They used to be my favorite weapon class. That stopped being the case a while ago. Just because, like, some great swords are a lot more interesting. But wait, did I say some great swords are a lot more interesting? Some other weapon classes are a lot more interesting. You know, like curved swords are just gonna be better for DPS most of the time. Halberds are gonna be better for range. Ultra great swords and axes and great hammers are probably gonna be better for damage. But great swords are a really good, well-rounded class. So a week, that's so much money. I I appreciate the thought at least. um, that is a lot of money to give me. Yeah, I don't know. The bastard sword is good. I like it because I do like great swords. But it's very standard so far. Yeah, Lily, Anthony, gifted you, or well, gifted a membership and ended up going to you. Got to above 2,000 and lost it all. How do you even, like, at what point do you not realize that you should just stop? Thank you so much, Lily. That means a lot. And welcome, Matthias, I assume? Correct me if I'm pronouncing that horribly incorrectly. Thank you so much, Lily. That means a lot. A very expensive game, yeah. I had a coworker when I worked at the casino. Every paycheck they would just like take 20 bucks and go out on the floor and just like gamble with 20 bucks and then not gamble at all otherwise. Which is probably one of the healthiest ways to do it if you're going to gamble at all, you know. It's like take a little bit, a regular interval so you're not like tempted to do a bunch more or whatever. Yeah, if you're a loser. I did work at a casino as a janitor, and it was so annoying. There were so many people who like didn't understand the fact that all I did at the casino was pick up garbage. Like I would come by, you know, clean out the ashtray next to their machine, and then like, I would like pick up their garbage, and like put it in the very obvious trash cart that I was pushing around, and then be like, "Can you fix this machine for me? It's not working." Meanwhile, there's a giant help button directly in front of them on the machine. So annoying. Casino goers aren't the smartest, it would seem. Your chest hair fell off? Yeah, shocker, right? Truly the most unexpected outcome. I had much worse experiences at the casino, but that one is that one was reoccurring and very common. What casino did... I don't even... Are you in Oregon still? Like, are you living in the college town? Or... I have no idea where you're at, Anthony. Feel free to not put it in the public chat. Yeah, once the stream starts getting toward 2 hours, the numbers usually drop a little bit. Sometimes it'll like spike for whatever reason near the end. Probably because YouTube is bad at sending out notifications and will sometimes send them out at like 2.5, 3 hours. But speaking of YouTube being bad at notifications, if you want more regular notifications, I have a Discord and I post every time I start streaming and every time I post a video, and tag the notifications role, which you can give yourself by reacting to the message in the rules channel. So if you want more regular notifications that are more reliable and probably sooner than YouTube's, link to the Discord in the description. A glorious 360p. Oh yeah, when I was a janitor, we had the janitor closets, and the janitor closets didn't have like security cameras in them. I would just like sit in there and do whatever. And for a good portion of time that I was working at the casino, I was very hyperfixated on shiny hunting. So just pull my DS out of my pocket in the closet and start shiny hunting. Yeah, the Discord is very full of um a lot of people who I was gonna say trans femmes, and there are mostly trans women who like Dark Souls in there. But there are also quite a few just like uh autistic people who like Dark Souls, among other things. But like, you know, obviously my main content is Dark Souls, so yeah, best boss in the game. Here it comes. Lambs. Two of them. Seath is lasering. Okay. Lambs are dead. Everything's fine. You do talk about bathroom experiences in the Discord. This is true. I could have made Seath hot. This is true. That's probably the worst part about Seath. If they just gave them she, her pronouns, everything would have been okay. But here we are. I mean, yeah, most people are, but it's not literally everyone. There are, I want to say, I don't know. There are a few semi-active people who aren't trans femmes. I really like that this moveset, actually, you can transition between R1s and R2s really easily. That's not super common in Dark Souls 1, from what I remember. Welcome back, Sabrina. We still got a good chunk of the game left. Probably about an hour of streaming. Depending on how long Nito and the DLC take me, I guess. Yeah, there are a few. Not like a big number, but there are a few. Like Anthony. Anthony's not a trans femme yet. Hello, Unsticky. Please correct me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Seath should have had more tentacles, is it true? Seath should have looked like Wasaka and had she, her pronouns. Yet? Yeah, if you like talking about Dark Souls and other video games, people talk about Monster Hunter relatively often. Terraria is pretty common in there as well. What? Someone, who indirectly almost killed you yesterday? Question mark? Yeah, if you think you are cis, join the Discord. Yeah, Chris has been playing Outer Wilds, and I've been very tempted to also play Outer Wilds because I've been meaning to play it for a very long time, and I just haven't yet. And multiple people have been coerced into playing Outer Wilds recently. I really want to play Myst, too. I might play Myst before Outer Wilds. A lot of people are also, like, plural. Plurality comes up a lot because a good chunk of the people on the server are plural. And it's generally just, like, a safe space to talk about identity and everything, too. We try to be supportive of identities and discovery and all that. Need to escape into the dark now, Goose Steamies. Okay. I have no idea what that means, but I assume that means that you're leaving. I don't know what weapon to use. It depends. What do you want to do? There are a lot of weapons I haven't used in Demon Souls. I have the War Scythe and Rune Sword to use. And then the next poll, I was going to put the... I don't even remember what all of them were, actually. The Great Epee was on there. Or is it just Epee? I don't know. There are a lot of weapons I want to use in Demon Souls is the point. Yeah, use the Bastard Sword in Demon Souls. Isn't the Bastard Sword like actually literally just a worse Claymore in Demon Souls? I know there are a lot of weapons like that. Like the Night Sword is just a better longsword. Or whatever. And you get the Bastard Sword in 1-1, so like you get it early. You get the Claymore in 1-2, but you know. But yeah, if you want a place to a safe space to talk about identity and mental health struggles and all that, we try to be supportive in there as well. Yeah, really. I mean, the thing that I built it feels wrong. Like, I guess people are there because of me, but like, I don't know. The community, a lot of the talk in the community is less focused on me and my stuff and more focused on like the people in the community, which I absolutely love. Super, super great community that I'm very happy to um, have helped build something like that. Good luck with whatever you're doing, not I. You've got about an hour-ish before the stream's over. Maybe a little bit less. I mean, yeah, technically, but like, I don't know. It feels wrong. Like, I don't even like calling it my community or whatever, you know? It's just like, I happen to be here, and I happen to be a trans woman who likes Dark Souls. So, trans people and queer people in general who like Dark Souls are drawn to that. And queer people are cool. So. Good luck with your shower. I understand the struggles. Well, yeah, I know. I don't know. It just... I'm glad that the community exists, and I'm happy to have been a part of it. Honestly, though, a lot of people who are there, not like a huge portion, but a good chunk of the people who are there don't even like regularly watch my videos, which is fine. Again, it's like, it's a trans community more so than it is a community about me. I just happen to be there and post my videos. Which is, I think it's really great. Yeah. A lot of neurodivergent queer people. It's really great. Self-identified as cool and based by liking you. I don't know. I'm here by luck, which, like, not complaining by any means. 100% the reason that I'm here is luck. So. Neither of those are particularly OP. I mean, they're good. The Great Club and the Great Scythe are good weapons, but Gargoyle's Halberd is just better. What was the other one? The Life Hunt Scythe, I would argue. Well, actually, if you're not doing Spell Sword, the Life Hunt Scythe is just better than the Great Scythe. But if you're doing Spell Sword, I think the Great Scythe would probably be better. Great Scythe is good, but not, like, incredible. I would argue that the... I would argue that the Gargoyle's Halberd is probably the best weapon in the game. The trans femme music producer stereotype? Well, yeah. At least I don't make hyperpop. I may be a Stop it! Help. I may be a stereotype, but I'm not that much of a stereotype. Okay, I enjoy game dev as a hobby. I attempt to participate in game jams and then have ADHD and don't actually get them done. Look. Yeah, thank you for the kind words about the music. I just like making music. It's just fun to do. YouTube in general is kind of my main creative outlet. YouTube is not YouTube. Music is a big part of that as well. And I've been wanting a place to just like share my music for a long time. Regardless of how many people see it, I just want it out there. And I don't know why I didn't think of creating a YouTube channel until now. The Painting Guardian Sword is good, but I don't know. Like, you're gonna get high DPS with the Painting Guardian Sword, especially if you use it as a spell sword build. But like, getting that DPS is pretty difficult. Meanwhile, the Gargoyle's Halberd is, first of all, a lot more accessible, but the moveset is also a lot easier to use. It's a lot easier to get your DPS out of the Gargoyle's Halberd than the Painting Guardian Sword. So like, you know. Yeah, downloading FL Studio is just part of being trans. It's like HRT, but you know. Maybe I'm underestimating the Great Scythe. I'll have to try it out at some point. I mean, like, I've used it before, but I haven't done a full run with it in a very, very long time, so I'll have to try it out. Thank you so much, Lily. FL Studio is very confusing when you're first, yeah, especially if it's your first DAW. I'm trying to think of a simpler DAW that you could use to, like, get used to doing those sorts of things. Beatbox is a free one on your browser that is good to, like, just get used to using a piano roll. Anvil Studio is free and has a lot fewer features than FL Studio, so is arguably easier to use. But, you know. Reverent Marigold. Thick Trans Glorious Moondream. I don't think I've heard of that. Is that, I assume that's a music artist. And a socially transition. Download to FL Studio. The Centipede Demon? Yeah, Centipede Demon, I don't know. Centipede Demon feels like an underwhelming fight, because like no matter what your build is, it's going to be a pretty easy fight. But also, sorry to get sidetracked, ADHD, whatever. I feel like I really need to do a follow-up to Unremarkable on Odd Places, because there are so many little things that, like, I just didn't point out in that video. Like, this is one of them that's like, oh, absolutely, this is 100% a spot that would fit perfectly in that. There's also the spot when you're climbing up the branch into Lost Izalith proper. And then you can, like, drop off the side. Anyway, Google Music Maker. I mean, technically. I can't say I recommend that one. I don't know, I wouldn't recommend Anvil Studio either. Beatbox is pretty powerful for what it is, though, especially. FL Studio is expensive. I mean, obviously there's a demo for it, so you can learn how to use it. That's what I started with. Yeah, and you have to have placed the Lord Vessel to fight the Centipede Demon, so no matter what, it's going to be over the halfway point of the game. You're going to have a maxed out weapon. You're going to be able to destroy it very, very quickly. But, like, even if you're using a low damage weapon, like, I've beaten the Centipede Demon with a +5 S-Stock, and it was extremely easy. Oh yeah, absolutely. He looks super cool. But as a fight, he's kind of underwhelming, which I think is probably the main reason most people don't really talk about him. If you like the Unremarkable on Odd Places video, I mentioned it in the video itself, obviously, but Annie Austin does similar videos. His videos are a lot more condensed, between like 10 to 20 minutes, and he only shows off a few areas. I wanted to do a more comprehensive video, obviously, but definitely highly recommend checking out Annie Austin's channel, because he has a lot of Unremarkable on Odd Places videos in a bunch of different video games. His Assassin's Creed one is probably my favorite. Or I would be a merchant. Yeah, that was a very common comment. Like, I love looking for places in Dark Souls 1 where I could settle down and be a merchant or whatever. I don't know, I think the main thing separating Centipede Demon from, like, Taurus Demon, where Taurus Demon feels like a strong enemy at this point in the game, as opposed to Centipede Demon, which in my opinion very much does feel like a boss, is the variety of attacks and the ring gimmick, especially. Good lunch, Nevin. I hope you have a very good lunch. Your first Balatro run. Oh, I'm trying to think of general advice. Don't skip anything. Never ever take skip tags, ever. Never ever ever take skip tags on White Stake. That is just the wrong decision. Do not take skip tags. That is the only advice that I will give you, because 100% of people get it completely wrong. Think that skip tags are super great when 100% of the time they're terrible. Also, get money. Pay attention to your economy. No, Undertale's good. Play Undertale. Undertale's a very, very good game. What games do I like besides Dark Souls 1? Sonic games. I have a few videos on Sonic games up on my second channel. There should be a link on my channel page in the About section. I've also done Minecraft on there. Obviously, I like Minecraft because I'm a normal human being. I have a... Or, well, okay. I like platformers, generally. Super Mario 64 I would put my top 10 games of all time, just because it's a really fun platformer. Car Quest is also one of my favorite games of all time, which is probably the most niche game that I think is, like, absolutely incredible. But it is extremely, like... I'm the only person in the world who thinks Car Quest is as good as it is. Yeah, Sonic 06 is my favorite Sonic game. I know that's insane to say, but it's just, it hits everything that I love about Sonic. The level design is perfect for the rank system. Even without trying to go for ranks, it's extremely satisfying to play. Blaze is my favorite Sonic character, so that's definitely a factor, though not one of the main ones. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really, really great game. It has the best level design of any game I've ever played, full stop. Except maybe Dark Souls 2? It 100% has the best level design of any platformer I've ever played, and that's not even close. It just feels good to play. I love the story. The music is my favorite soundtrack of any game I've ever played. It's just a good game. I don't know. Like, it's glitchy, but... I mean, so is Sonic Adventure 2. Arguably more so. And people love that game. I don't know. Knack 3. I've heard that. I recognize the name, but I have no idea what it is. Yeah. I love the animation in Sonic 06. People say it looks like the characters are wearing mascot costumes. I get it, but it's just... It's so good. I hate Elise. Elise is the worst thing about Sonic 06, and whatever about her kissing Sonic, I could not care less. Her character development is okay. She's very much a blank slate for Sonic to project onto, in terms of how he cares about people. Obviously, like, oh, what's her name? Black Knight girl. I don't remember her name. The sorcerer in Black Knight, I think, is just like a better version of that. But she also very much has her own motivations in terms of, like, wanting to make the world go on forever or whatever. But regardless, Elise is very much a blank slate character, and that's not what I dislike about her. What I dislike about her is her design. She looks like a monster. Her neck is too long. She's too skinny. She's just, like, incorrectly proportioned. Like, most of the humans in Sonic 06 look fine. Not good. Especially compared to, like, Sonic Adventure. Elise just looks wrong, and I hate it. And it makes some of the cutscenes, like, hit way less hard than they could have, because Elise just looks incorrect. Yeah, Bastard Sword did a lot of... It one-shot the Bed of Chaos. It's crazy. A starved Wendigo. I don't know. I do love Shadow's character in every game he's in. I feel like Silver's character in 06 is very like he's misrepresented, I think. Because he does have a lot of character growth and development, and he does very much have an arc that is very strong and interesting. However, he's kind of whiny and people hate him for it. And his gameplay is kind of slow and people hate him for it. I don't know. I think Silver had a stronger character arc in Sonic 06 than Shadow. However, overall, I think Shadow is just a better character, a more interesting character, especially through the rest of the series. Also, rip Pinwheel. 3 whole hits. You know what? That's Ariam, you have changed my mind. Shadow is a bit better character arc just because of that one line. I mean, yeah. Silver having more character development does make sense, but Shadow always has a ton of character development in all the games he's in, just by virtue of his character. Outside of, like, forces or whatever, but that doesn't count. Oh, the skeleton fell. Pardon me. Favorite character is Metal. My favorite character is Percival, and she hasn't showed up outside of Black Knight, so, you know, maybe you should count your blessings. Metal Sonic is getting an entire movie appearance. Well, a lot of people don't even know Percival exists. They just assume that she's Blaze, but in a night costume. Yeah. Yeah, the character based on Blaze in Sonic and the Black Knight. Percival from the Round Table. Speaking of Metal Sonic, so I am working on my Sonic 06 video. I have made it to Flame Core, Sonic's Flame Core. I'm about 13,000 words in, something like that. I kind of want to do a Sonic Heroes video before the Sonic 06 video, because the Sonic 06 video is going to take a while. It's probably going to end up as like a 3 or 4 hour video. I'm 5 stages in of the like 30-ish in the game, and 13,000 words in, so you know. And I think talking about Metal Sonic in that will be fun, because I really enjoy Metal Overload. Okay, but it's the Percival in the books isn't the cool Percival. Yeah, Blaze, aside from Percival, Blaze is my favorite Sonic character. Ugh. Is what a review? The 06 one? The 06 video is, I don't know, I would describe it more as a retrospective than a review, but yeah. There we go. Excuse me. Rolling skeletons are worse than bone wheels, and I will forever stand by that opinion. If you want a vibe of what the 06 video is going to be, I did a much lighter version of the style of video for Black Knight. In the Black Knight video, I might die here. Okay. The Black Knight video is up. It's an hour long. Which is going to be short compared to the 06 video. Ouch. I should probably heal. Thoughts on New Game Plus and Souls? I think it's really great. It's really cool that you can use weapons that you're only gonna get, you know, later game for a full playthrough. I love the scaling and how it like makes you feel really strong at the beginning of a new game cycle, but also can still provide a challenge, especially if you go into later new game cycles. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 New Game Plus is obviously the best form of it. Because, you know, how much it changes. But I think it has its merits in all the games, even if it doesn't really change anything in Dark Souls 1. I think it's fun to go through. Okay, DLC time, huh? Wow. That went by quick. Let me, we'll see. You know, actually, I can open DSR Gadget and just go fast and go down to Calamite. Sure. The only reason I don't like doing Calamite is because activating him is so incredibly tedious. That's genuinely the only reason I don't fight Calamite most of the time. It just feels to run all the way down there. I'm not going to disagree with that statement. I don't think I'm allowed to. But, you know. Have a good night, or day, Nevin, wherever you are. Thank you for being here while you could. Yeah, you wouldn't, Smo. Once I start the DLC cutscene, I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. And hopefully I can be back soon after the cutscene is done. To get out of character. I don't know. I mean, he's a dragon, right? I feel like if you're not into dragons, then you won't understand that, but gender matters less with dragons most of the time. If Ornstein shows up next stream and somebody remembers that, I think that'll be a funny conversation. Gotta start that podcast. Oh yeah, that's the problem. He said something that he hates is cool. Okay, I'll be right back. Never mind. The bathroom is occupied. Sanctuary Guardian. Favorite boss? In the series. Actually, I would say probably favorite boss in any game ever. Calamite's pretty good too. I would say Calamite's my second favorite in Dark Souls 1. Top 10 in the series for sure. I did that bad. I should have rolled away. Oh. Oh my god. Good damage. Really? That's surprising. Normally, the force swipe version of that attack is a lot more common. Also, one hit for the telecut. I did the double Sanctuary Guardian fight in a recording that I did recently, so depending on when that video comes out, there will be a double Sanctuary Guardian fight in a video soon, which is far worse than the normal Sanctuary Guardian fight, but I did do it successfully. Yeah, I would say dragons count as monsters in that context. Okay. I'm gonna open DSR gadget now. I don't know. I feel like there are people who would consider themselves that, even if there's not like a, or even if it is encompassed by another term. I'd say Kazu appreciator myself. I assume that's what the, how do you pronounce that? I assume Piratophile? Uh, that is akin to, or a um better way of saying. Oh, I don't know if I should say that on YouTube even. Scaly. Is that what that is? Okay. That's not what I was thinking then. I guess Kazu would still fall under that though, right? Kinda. Less anthro than dragons even, but similar vibes. It is certainly an opinion that I have, yeah. And it is a correct one. Yeah, but it's like scaly adjacent. Mo is here. Bastard Sword is pretty good so far. It's not like incredible, but it's pretty good so far. Leather has hair on it though, doesn't it? It's the vibes. Besides, it's not like literally having scales. It's the vibes. I hate having a job. I also hated having a job. Whoa, that I pressed the gravity button on accident. Hold on. Okay. This is not an outside program. I can just do this, by the way. Yeah, it increases the movement, or it increases the speed of all player animations. I did an entire run with it a while back. I think the video was called "Can I Beat Dark Souls at Double Speed?" It did not get very many views from what I remember, but it was really fun to do. Yeah, trans people can just do it. It's because I like Sonic. It's because I'm autistic for Sonic. Different trans people get different abilities. Trans people who are autistic for like Celeste can double jump. I can go fast. Rodent? Worm, yeah, but rodent? Isn't it called a dragon in the game? I don't know. I played one Monster Hunter. So. Ludwig? Oh, right. Bloodborne. I was like, who's Ludwig? That's not a Dark Souls boss. I remember not struggling too much with Ludwig. I don't know. The only boss that I really struggled with a ton in Bloodborne was Orphan of Kos. Orphan of Kos took me like probably 6 hours, which is the longest of any boss in the Soul series for me. I'm not sure why it took me so long, but I'm excited to attempt that fight again. Ludwig did take me a good college try, but nothing insane. I forgot that Artorias is like really difficult to stagger. Oh my goodness. You're lucky you survived. Okay. That was Extremely greedy. I don't know. There weren't that many bosses that I particularly loved in Bloodborne. Um, yeah, if you ignore the time I got hit, it was hitless. Trying to think. Logarius, I remember being my favorite boss from Bloodborne when I played it. It's been a long time since I played it though. Duskbloods, the the live service Bloodborne. That's the only other new From subtitle that I know anything about. Honestly, a new Dark Souls would be so horrifically disappointing. Whoa, loaded head. I very rarely get that. Oh, it's heavy. That's fine. I guess I have a whole ring slot. The armor set of all time. Vicar Amelia. I did enjoy Vicar Amelia. I did think that was a fun boss. I know some people thought or think that Vicar Amelia is like insanely difficult, but that was one that I definitely did not struggle with very much. Um Bloodstarved Beast in my first playthrough was insanely difficult. It took me so long. I think like an hour or so. But in follow-up playthroughs, when I knew how to parry, it became one of the easier bosses. I think Bloodstarved Beast is one of the worst bosses in the series, not because it's a particularly bad fight, but because of, excuse me, where it takes place in Bloodborne. It's like, specifically because of the poison, right? It's insanely fast poison, so it's going to kill you extremely quickly. The grab is a one-shot because of the poison. And because of that, you know, you're going to be playing extremely cautiously to not get poisoned in the first place. I think the idea was that you were supposed to... Oh, right. I have to actually pick up the key. Is that you're supposed to, like, try to kill it extremely quickly so you don't die to the poison. But it just made me be super cautious so I didn't get poisoned in the first place, which led to a really slow, really boring playstyle, which does not work with Bloodborne. Taught me completely the wrong lessons and ended up being one of the most frustrating bosses in my first playthrough because of that. Yeah, and it has a terrible run back too. Shadows of Yharnam as well. Horrible runbacks. I just... It's a... Not... I think Bloodstarved Beast specifically is not a super great boss. Ow. Okay, so all we have is a product title. I don't think it's worth speculating over then. Hagfish. Interesting descriptor. I don't know. I think I actually ended up cheesing Shadows of Yharnam in one of my in most of my early playthroughs, using the thing where you kind of like get out of bounds and whatever. I don't know. I think the Dark Souls 2 deer form, Jesus. The Dark Souls 2 dragon form is probably the best dragon form, best looking dragon form of the three. Mostly because in Dark Souls 1 and 3, they look like emaciated goats. Less so in Dark Souls 1, but especially in Dark Souls 3. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 would become gray. They would get rid of half the enemies and it would be extremely boring. They would remove all the cool stuff. It'd be a horrible remake, most likely. I don't know. If they do like a Blue Point Dark Souls 2 remake, that'd be awesome. Because at least Blue Point keeps the gameplay faithful. Oh my god, Vagrant! Evil Vagrant! I'm gonna... Oh, is it gonna come down? Hey! Hey, buddy! Cool. Nice. I think it was a Evil Vagrant, not a good one. I don't think a good one can spawn there, but it would have run away. Did they just fall off the... Ah, interesting. I don't know. Anyway, I really hope they don't change Dark Souls 2's story to align more with Dark Souls 3. That would be the worst possible decision. Dark Souls 3 story is so terrible compared to Dark Souls 2. um, but yeah, I think a Blue Point remake of Dark Souls 2 would be the best possible outcome. Like, even if they change the art style to be unfaithful and ruin the music, at least the gameplay would be good still. I should be using jump attacks. A remake of Dark Souls 3 would also end up being bad, 100%, even if Blue Point did it. Because if they did it, it would either remain exactly the same as Dark Souls 3, but be worse, because the gameplay would be the same, but everything else would be worse because Blue Point. I mean, it would look better, I guess, but it's not like Dark Souls 3 looks bad anyway. And they would have changed the atmosphere completely. Because, like, they would absolutely never change it to be more like Dark Souls 2. Yeah, it's also too new. I feel like if they do anything with any of the Dark Souls games, it's going to be Dark Souls 2. Since it's the one with... Oh, God. It's the one with the least... Or, it's the oldest, I guess. Because, like, Scholar is significantly older than Dark Souls Remastered. And Dark Souls 3. I'm being very greedy. Terrible Manus fight so far. Yeah, because FromSoft makes bad games now. That's what you're not understanding. They're never gonna make something as good as Dark Souls 2 in the vein of Dark Souls 2 because they don't want any more Dark Souls 2 stuff. They thought people didn't like Dark Souls 2, so they're not going to do anything like Dark Souls 2 anymore. That's just how it works. Elden Ring took a lot of cues from Dark Souls 2. Also, very easy Manus fight. Bastard Sword is pretty solid. Elden Ring took some cues from Dark Souls 2, like power stancing, and then made them worse. But they're never going to do anything even remotely similar to Dark Souls 1 or 2 again. I mean, to be fair, I think Blue Point did a wonderful job with Shadow of the Colossus in that way. It's like, they really just made the game prettier, and that's it. But that was from, PS2 to PS3. And then the PS3 version got brought to PS4, so there was a lot less interpretation to make. Or, well, they remastered the PS3 version for the PS4, right? Something like that. So I think they did a wonderful job with Shadow of the Colossus, but they changed too much and interpreted too much with Demon Souls and made the music bad. So... Yeah, Soul Memory, I don't know. I don't dislike Soul Memory. Yeah, because I don't care about PvP. I think the Dark Souls 2 is... If I wasn't autistic, Dark Souls 2 would be my favorite, and I think that says a lot. But I think Dark Souls 2 is good as it is, and I don't particularly dislike Soul Memory because it... First of all, because I don't care about PvP, but with PvE and co-op, there's a lot you can do to make it just not matter. Oh, right, Calamite! So, like... Oh. Like, you can use the name engraved ring to make... What the... to make the soul memory not matter for PvE and co-op and stuff. Or, the gape ring, if you're really worried about it, like with PvP. And, like, that takes you down a ring slot, but most people are gonna not have it anyway, so it's, Also, when I said FromSoft doesn't make good games anymore, that was 100% a joke. I think Dark Souls 3 is really fun. I really like Elden Ring. Not as much as the Dark Souls games. Elden Ring is by far my least favorite of the FromSoft catalog that I enjoy. Um, I think Night Rain is really, really good and improved on everything Elden Ring. Everything that I didn't like about Elden Ring got improved with Night Rain. I think Sekira's really, really good. But they're never going to make anything like Dark Souls 1, Demon Souls, or Dark Souls 2 anymore. Which is why indie Souls-likes are the way to go. There's Prison of Husks coming out, which when I played the demo a long while ago, I remember it being pretty similar to Dark Souls 1. Another Crab's Treasure is really good. Thymesia is really good. Lies of P is alright. I don't know. I've been liking Lies of P. What was the other one I was thinking of? Steel Rising is really good. That's a really good indie Souls-likes. Death's Door and Tunic are arguably Souls-likes and also really, really, really good. I'd recommend just, like, playing indie Souls-likes. Hey, that's not bad damage at all. I got a comment that was like, it like put a timestamp from the video. I was like, is no one gonna talk about how badass that was? And I go to the timestamp, and it's literally just dodging that the tail swipe attack. Like that's the whole thing that happened at that timestamp. I have no idea if that's what they were talking about, if they like accidentally put in the wrong timestamp or whatever. But I thought that was really funny. Or if they just like don't know the timing for that attack, because it is pretty difficult to learn the timing for that one, admittedly. Uh-oh. Greed. Everything's fine. The battle pass in Dark Souls. Whoa. That one's scary to dodge. That was greedy. Everything's fine. I could not care less with FromSoft recycling assets. That is like the one thing that does not matter to me. As long as the level design is different, I think it's fine. Like reusing animations is completely fine. Oh, you mean stuff that was already in the game? Oh yeah, hitless. Maybe. Extremely difficult Calamite. What was I talking about? It's in there somewhere. Hold on. Yeah, like the catacombs and stuff. How all of them are exactly the same. Yeah, and like yeah, reusing bosses. Yeah, very much understandable. Not liking that. I also hated that. I feel like if they made the game like less than half the length, Elden Ring would have been a lot better. Like if it was just the first 3 areas, maybe a little bit more fleshed out. They replaced the entirety of Altus Plateau with the city. You know, the city in the Altus Plateau. The main capital city that I remember the name of. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. And then they led that directly into... I should not have two-handed there. Led that directly into Farum Azula instead of going up to the mountaintops. I think it would have been a lot better. I don't know, we didn't have enough health to make that difficult. It was a fun Calamite fight, though. Calamite is one of the harder bosses in a first playthrough, I think, but is also not super difficult once you know what you're doing. Ulcerated tree spirits are so annoying. especially when you don't know how to fight them yet. Extremely difficult when fight. I'm really glad that Night Rain does not have a battle pass. Um, I think Night Rain is really good as it is. Not like as a Souls game, but just like as a game on its own, as a roguelike, as an ARPG roguelite rather. I think it's really fun. Wanted a longer Calamite fight. Calamite is the tankiest boss in the game. I don't know. I think his fight is a fine length. So a little easy. Anyway, thoughts on the weapon? Yeah, just Ring of the Evil Eye, rebranded as Smo's Ring. Yeah, or every hit instead of every kill. But anyway, it's fun. It's fine. I don't know. It's a great sword. Does slightly more damage than the Claymore. Has lower range and a different moveset. I think the which one you think is better, the best sword of the Claymore, would just come down to preference. Personally, I like the Claymore more because I like how it looks. And I'm more used to it. But they're both definitely pretty solid weapons. Yeah, shocking. Beating Dark Souls 1 again for like the... Actually, how many times have I beat Dark Souls on my channel? A good chunk. Good number. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Oh my god, Claymore. Just say that. In my YouTube chat. In my live stream chats. I don't know how